A host of terrifying creatures are spotted in the woods. A trail camera gets an extreme close-up of a chilling non-human eye. A ghost saunters through the woodland on all fours and vanishes amongst the trees. These are just a few of the things we'll look at, so stick to the end. There's something creepy in the woods. There's something terrifying visible out of just the corner of your eye. A cyclist tears through the woods at night, and his camera captures something strange to the left of the screen. A figure looms, tall and menacing. A weird tube-shaped head, visible arms and torso. It appears to be wearing a suit. Is it some kind of bizarre totem? Or could it be a scarecrow? Problem is, this isn't farmland. This is the middle of the woods at night. The perks to living in the country are numerous. Wide open spaces, beautiful scenery, nature at its wildest and finest. Problem is that when something stares you down from behind a tree, there's no one to save you but yourself. Watch as this woman captures the face of something strange watching her.
Oh my goodness. Hey, Zach. I could have sworn. See, Zach, there is a man over there. What? I'm not even playing. You need to go check it out. There is somebody over there.
Caught on camera, for only a fraction of a second, the creature cautiously sticks its neck out before returning to hide from view. The footage is zoomed in from some distance, and the angle makes it difficult to decipher a body. The head is almost too round in shape, and apart from its eyes, the other features are masked in black. Height is difficult to gauge exactly, but it appears to be quite tall, using the gate at the back for sail. The footage is low res, but on closer viewing, it is possible to make out what looks like the hemline of a dress. Is it a woman? Why is she stalking them? The sense of being watched is made even more creepy by not being able to discern what is watching you. If you have a clue what this might be, then let us know in the comments. A trail camera set up in the hopes of catching the activity of nocturnal fauna captures way more than anyone had anticipated. Watch the zoomed-in footage as a transparent object comes into view from the left-hand side of the screen. At first it appears to walk, but then as it comes more clearly into focus, the demon's shadow begins to crawl on all fours, its freakishly long body resembling some kind of awful reptile. The fiendish nightcrawler disappears from range, no doubt off to haunt some unknowing camper. One wonders how it came to haunt this forest and why it can't leave. It's not always clear why people set up cameras in the woods unless the goal is to capture unsuspecting wild animals going about their business. But every now and then they get more than they bargained for. Check out the following trail footage.
What the is that? 4 days ago. Oh my god, I don't even want to touch my laptop, bro. I feel like it's looking at me.
An extreme close-up reveals that something is looking back. An inquisitive yet somewhat sinister eye peers deeply into the lens of the camera, the gesture almost threatening. Perhaps sightings like these will become more common. Perhaps they will start to communicate their intentions. But for now, they are watching. The sound of a child's laughter. Is there anything more delightful, except when a child's laughter is heard, and the child doesn't exist? A night security man experiences a truly harrowing encounter with an entity on what is to be his last shift. The distinct sight of a child's hand is visible on the low-level glass window as it bangs on the glass and laughs in pure joy. As the security man rounds the corner, you expect to see the child, but just as abruptly as it started, the commotion stops. Nothing. The night shift security man hands in his notice the following day. It seems child's play is not for everyone. There's something about the fear and energy in this video that makes it both terrifying and exciting. Cell phone footage appears to capture what looks like Bigfoot running between the trees.
Sammy, what was that? Wait,
Whilst there is a lot of scrambling and panic to record the moment, the actual footage is pretty clear as far as recordings go. Are you convinced? And for all intents and purposes, bears a striking resemblance to many of the other sightings we have witnessed here. But there is something about the way it is running that makes me a skeptic. Bigfoot or not, let us know in the comments. A street security camera captures a bizarre occurrence. A humanoid figure with long limbs is spotted bounding on all fours through the deserted street. There are two things that make this footage disturbing. Firstly, the creature is naked, and secondly, it shows remarkable agility, if it is human, to move at such pace on its hands and feet. It scurries off as an animal would, with no evidence of where it came from or where it is escaping to. Is this another skinwalker sighting? The witch on her way to hex her victim? You be the judge. Is this another skinwalker sighting? The witch on her way to hex her victim? You be the judge. The thing about ghost sightings is that they are not always dramatic or even that visible. Something caught moving in your peripheral vision, an alarming sound that you can rationalize away by blaming the wind, a fleeting dark shadow on the stairs when no one else is around that disappears as quickly as it appears. Small occurrences that are no less disturbing. Watch as this poster captures a dark, shadowy figure moving up the stairs and vanishing from sight. It seems unlikely that whatever is there is human, as it disappears way too quickly. The first few seconds of this video are bizarre. A group of Frenchmen out on camping trip are traipsing through the dark without a flashlight, presumably returning to their campfire. The mood is jovial but soon changes when the area being filmed is suddenly illuminated. As if by magic there is a campfire burning gently, but that is not what our attention is meant to be drawn to. It is what is directly behind the fire, peering out from behind the tree. A hairless, ghostly white cryptid looms. Its dead eyes, like two dark pools in its head, stare back at the campers from its vantage. Some suggest it's a skinwalker, associated with bad omens and death. It prowls the forests in its pallid disguise with malevolent intent. The cameraman grows quiet in the creature's presence, and the mood changes. What happens after the sighting is anyone's guess, but I'm not sure I'd have stayed to find out. The following footage is difficult to decipher, obviously zoomed in significantly. The poster claims to have captured Bigfoot in plain sight. Granted, I cannot dispute the fact that something is there. Large and covered in fur and does not appear to be a bear, but beyond that, it is extremely difficult to say for certain. Watch closely as the creature, who appears to be aware it is being watched, moves ever so slightly. Do you think this is what the poster claims, or is just too much of a reach for the imagination? A snowy night, two hunters are out and armed with guns. As the snow begins to fall, two glowing eyes become clearly visible to the right of the tree straight ahead. The hunters are being watched and possibly hunted.
I don't hear it anymore. Oh shit, Dill. Right there, bud. Something in there. There's more than one. They're watching us. Hey!
The person filming sounds visibly afraid because whatever that is watching them is not the only one, and instinctually something about this presence tells him that it is not an animal. The unblinking eyes continue to stare in the direction of the men, undeterred and unafraid of being shot. There's a reason they don't want us to speed, and it's got nothing to do with the rules of the road. It seems that once you break the acceptable limit, you might just end up like these guys on a literal highway to hell. Keep an eye on the rising speedometer, but wait for the moment our attention is drawn to something else visible on the side of the road. What can only be described as a demon stands watching as the car speeds past in a fury of pedal to the metal. For a moment, its distorted features are visible as what looks like smoke, but is more than likely the quality of the video taken at high speed, is seen rising off the top of its head. Perhaps it's just as well they were flying past. I wouldn't want to give that terrifying hitchhiker a ride. A generation of us kids were traumatized by Chucky, and later it was Annabelle. Malevolent dolls with murder on their minds possessed by demons and able to move on their own. This poster claims to have discovered these creepy dolls in the basement of her new home. Seems the previous owner didn't want them. She also claims that one of the dolls appeared to move on its own. Notice how their eyes follow you and never stop. What would you do with them? Villagers capture a strange creature on the roof and remain surprisingly calm considering its appearance. It's possible to identify a shape and two bright eyes emanating from the darkness. The growing group of onlookers seem more bemused than terrified. It's possible they've seen this entity before. The creature remains surprisingly calm and still throughout. On initial viewings, it might be easy to dismiss this as a human. It does seem to possess a human body, and whilst relatively large, the limbs are proportionate. Where it becomes harder to reconcile the theory is the facial features, particularly those eyes that seem too far apart to be those of a human. Thankfully, it seems to be calm in spite of the attention it is receiving. This magnificent lynx is spotted navigating a frozen river. As it steps out onto the ice, a sound not unlike a crack is heard. The cautious predator decides not to risk an icy dip and effortlessly leaps to the other side. A lynx has large legs that allow them to jump up to 6 feet off the ground and up to 25 feet horizontally. This jumping ability, coupled with a robust skeletal structure and well-muscled body, allows the lynx to easily navigate rugged terrain and catch prey with remarkable efficiency. This natural athleticism is a key aspect of the lynx's hunting strategy and is a distinctive feature of this elusive wildcat. This poster manages to capture a furry bipedal creature running through the woods. The footage, which is remarkably clear, shows the creature making a quick escape from something or someone. The woods seem to be a cesspit of terrifying entities, and this one is no different. Have they unwittingly captured another Bigfoot on camera, or is this a hoax? Again, watch how this creature moves when compared to other sightings. There's something quite comical about its gait. Either way, the sight of something running in the nearby woods at night would be disturbing, especially when the creature in question appears to be neither animal nor human. The footage you are about to watch was recorded in the early 90s on a handheld video camera. The videographer was on holiday with his family, and they decided to take a day trip to the exquisite Mono Lake. Whilst his children played on the beach, he panned the camera to get a shot of the landscape. They left and remained oblivious to the fact that they may have just captured a Sasquatch on camera within a short distance from where the children were playing. The video remained uncovered for 17 years until a family member discovered it and noticed something strange. Granted, it's only a few seconds and fleeting to say the least, but there is something there that makes your blood run cold and cannot easily be explained. Watch closely as the large, brilliantly camouflaged creature moves and becomes visible. Emerging from between the rocks, it lumbers forward before turning abruptly on its heels and making as if to leave, possibly because it sensed it was spotted. Is this the legendary Sasquatch? Some have suggested that The video is a hoax, citing the one-dimensional shape the creature takes on when it turns as being a cardboard cutout. But this is not easily reconciled, as the quality of the tape is poor when zoomed in. You be the judge. It's late, you're in bed. You've switched all the lights off and your eyes have become accustomed to the dark. If you look around your room, you start to see shapes. The clothes you flung over the chair start to look almost human. The more you look, the creepier and more realistic it becomes. This poster claims to hear someone crying in her room. Watch as her camera films in the direction of the noise and captures a human figure standing in the darkness.
Do you guys hear that crying? Look, it's moving. What the is that? What the there's something over there crying. Do you guys see that? Do you guys hear that crying? Look, it's moving.
It seems to have its back to the camera and is wearing a dress. Faint sobs are barely audible. Do you see it? We've featured a lot of skinwalker videos here on Trail Terror, but some of you might still be wondering what exactly these creepy creatures are. In Navajo culture, a close but not exact translation describes it as a witch. This was someone who committed unspeakable acts to obtain the power to shapeshift in order to do harm. Skinwalkers often take on the shape of animals, but more often than not, they appear as these ghostly white entities. Watch as this poster spots something disturbing behind the shed. Shooting in the direction of the sighting, she captures a featureless, deathly white face looking back at her.
Oh my god, nobody is gonna ever believe this. Oh, shit. Alright, we're going back inside.
One can also hear the sound of a child crying, but it has an almost echoey quality, as though it is not a human voice. It is not stated, but it is possible that the sound of the child crying is being mimicked by the skinwalker. It is claimed that they use this ability to fake the voice of a loved one or someone in distress to lure victims to their death. Sightings of skinwalkers are often considered personal attacks, in that someone has put a hex or curse on you. It is confirmed the aliens are here, and they have some truly phenomenal powers of disguise. Watch as this shocked poster notices something untoward when looking up at the sky. At first, it looks like a cloud, but then it starts to move. Yes, clouds move, you say, but no, not like this. Before our eyes, the camera captures the cloud transform into some kind of spacecraft or UFO with lights in it. The aliens are not even trying to hide, as the spacecraft moves across the sky and vanishes behind the houses. These sightings are becoming more prevalent, and the quality of the videos is improving too. It's almost as if they want us to see them. Notice how slowly the UFO progresses across the sky.
The first couple of viewings of this video definitely had me perplexed. A lady in white has all the makings of a scary movie. And we can see this lady passing the security guard, after which she just seems to vanish into thin air. The fact, however, that the security guard seems to almost appear out of nowhere as well, makes me deduce that the CCTV quality is not the best. There seems to be a specific glitchy spot, making things disappear in that particular place. But there is always the chance, of course, that neither the lady nor the security guard were real, and that both are ethereal bodies from another dimension, both caught on camera appearing and disappearing.
Tourists in Asia capture footage of this incredibly beautiful and unique-looking squirrel. The nimble and agile animals easily scale the wall with its lengthy drop and do not appear to be afraid of humans. The origin of the video is unknown, and the species depicted is described only as a squirrel. It's hard to imagine such beautiful animals even exist. Its bright red fur and striking eyes make it look outer-worldly. Could this be one of China's famous flying squirrels, or flying foxes as they are sometimes known? The ease with which they move from great height would indicate so, as would the manner in which its body flattens and fans out when it is seen jumping from the wall to the ground. If you know what this amazing animal is, let us know in the comments. If you want to see more interesting footage, then watch this.